everyone, welcome back to Homestead in a Box. My name is Leah and I am super thankful to have you here today. In today's video, we are just going to catch up. It has been like 4 weeks since I have turned this camera on and recorded a YouTube video. And I just wanted to explain why it's been so long since I've shown up here and really just kind of catch you up on the garden. I've been doing a lot of things in the garden, which is one of the reasons why I have not been in front of this camera. In case you don't know, whenever you record YouTube, it takes you like 20 times longer to get a single task done. So that is one of the reasons why I have not been here, because I have been steadily busy in the garden just getting it ready for spring and summer. And so today I just want to catch you all up on that, show you what I have already planted, and hopefully give you a few ideas of some things that you still have plenty of time to plant in the ground here in Oklahoma for your earlier, or I guess you could pretty much now call it your spring garden. We are not too far off from my first estimated frost date, so I have lots of seedlings going. And really, I just want to take a second real quick here in the beginning of this video to say that if you are not following us on social media, Instagram and Facebook, please go find us there and follow us there, because that is where I share a lot of my daily garden content and things like that. I'm a person who listens to her inner voice, and my inner voice has been pulling me into multiple different directions lately, and YouTube is not really one of those directions. I love turning this camera on and just showing up for you all. I really do genuinely love it. I do it as a hobby because it's fun. I do not get paid from YouTube. I am close to getting paid from YouTube, actually. I'm a lot closer than what I realized. However, this is something I started for my nieces and nephews to come and to be able to learn, and so I'm grateful that all of you have decided to join along me in this journey. But if you do want, guaranteed daily content, please take a second and go find us over on Instagram at Homestead in a Box, or at Facebook at Homestead in a Box, and like and subscribe to our pages there. That way you do not miss out on a lot of daily content. Like I said, today in this video, I'm just going to show you some things that I have planted, some new things that I'm doing, and really I'm going to be planting some garlic. A lot of people plant garlic in the fall. I'm kind of experimenting with it. I don't know if it's gonna, I don't think I'm gonna get big garlic heads, but if I could just get something is better than nothing. So we're gonna give that a try today, and I'm just gonna talk to you about all of the seeds that I will be actually starting later today. I'm going to spare everybody another seed starting video because I mean, it doesn't take much to grow seeds. If you want to grow seeds, you need something that can hold soil with holes in the bottom that water can go through, and you need light, Same thing with growing food. Today, you'll see today some of the containers that I'm growing in are just cut in half mineral buckets, and trash baggies. I'm growing in trash baggies. So anyway, enough of that. Let's just jump right into this video and let's go check out the garden. Come on, guy. Come on. Let's go check out the garden. Okay, as you see, I already had to put the fencing up around the garden due to the chickens and because I have planted stuff in here. My garden's kind of a mess in here right this second, but I just do want to show y'all some things. I use this recycled swimming pool, and that's kale in the middle, and those are radishes, which are both great and a great option to plant right now in Oklahoma. You still have plenty of time, and you can plant them in anything. They're planted in a swimming pool. Here I have some pak choi. It is an Asian green. I purchased these from another local farmer who sells plant starts. It's Not Hill Farms. I went out there and purchased those. I've always wanted to grow pak choi. I've just never bought the seeds. Here in this bed, kind of harder to see. I'll zoom in a little bit, but I have 80 onions packed here in this bed. Let me just kind of stand back Sorry, we're in Oklahoma in the wind. I put 80 onions in here. So in each square foot, you can put about 9 onions. I didn't quite put 9 in each square foot, but there are 81 onions altogether in there. And I also over here on this side, I have some cabbage planted. You can see where a chicken did get into my garden and eat some of my cabbage. I'm gonna come in through this cabbage and plant some marigolds to help deter the grasshoppers, things like that. Probably have to cover it with some netting. I have several empty containers I haven't quite put things in. I'm gonna be putting some head lettuce in. Yesterday I came in and I raked this bed and I'm getting it ready to plant in. I'm going to feed it today, and by feeding it, just top dressing it, in which that for me it looks like just coming in with some more leaf mold and some rabbit manure. Then over here I have a cut up mineral bucket, and I have some purple cabbage growing in here. These are also plant starts I bought here locally. I did not start these ones myself. Some of the green cabbage ones I did start myself, but these purple ones I purchased. Alright, I just want to show you all another container that I'm growing in. This was a 55-gallon food grade drum. It had soy sauce in it, and I grew strawberries in it last year, but my strawberries did not come back, and so I'm going to be planting my garlic in these. That way they're contained. Last year my chickens ate my garlic. Like I said, a lot of people plant their garlic in the fall, and I am really just this is really just trial and error. Alright, so we still have these beds over here. I need to come in and top dress. These are going to be for more of my summer garden. And what I'm really kind of calling my summer garden is like tomatoes, cucumbers, squash, things like that. I'm going to use these trellis on to grow vertically this year. I'm definitely going to be trying to grow vertically. But let's move down here to where I have potatoes actually growing. As you see, I have fence around it. If you have chickens and you're growing food, you have to put fences around your food or you will not have food. Anyway, so I'm growing potatoes, and these are 39-gallon black trash baggies. I've seen this. A friend sent me a YouTube video. It's called Garden Like a Viking, and he has a YouTube channel, and he had a wonderful harvest of potatoes, and he just used trash baggies. So you can see where I've kind of built up around them for the roots to be able to come out. You know, there's rocks, sticks, things like that. Always poke drainage holes in the bottoms of everything. You can kind of see my drainage holes that I have here. But friends, this is just a reminder, like, look, I'm literally growing potatoes in 39-gallon trash baggies. So I have layers of native soil and then rabbit manure and more native soil. I have 2 separate layers of potatoes in here. So I have a layer down here and then more soil, and then I have another layer of potatoes here covered with more soil and more manure. Potatoes are heavy feeders of organic matter, so they are going to love all of the rabbit manure. If you're new here, I use rabbit manure a lot in my garden. I have a YouTube video over rabbit compost tea, and I watched with my own 2 eyes just the benefits of that last year. Down here you can see where I have some things just laid down. That is where I'm going to be filling some bags up today for some carrots. Sorry about the wind. So anyway, that is just a real quick overview of what the garden looks like right now, early spring. And I have approached my garden this year completely different than what I did last year. Last year I was just kind of willy-nilly about it and was just, you know, excited. You know, and this year I really have approached my garden with a certain mentality and a train of thought, you know, when planting what I'm planting, when, you know, like, I'm only planting things that we're going to eat. You know, I have a goal, and the reason I planted all of those potatoes, which those potatoes, in case anybody asks, is a Yukon Gold there's 3 bags of each. There's Yukon Gold, Kennebec, and red potatoes. But potatoes, onions, I have 81 onions growing. Garlic, I have planted garlic in this container right here. You know, just staples that are in your kitchen, like even if that's the only thing that you grow this year, even if you only grow potatoes, you know, your first year gardening, say you grow 20 pounds of potatoes, or, I mean, that's a low number. Say you grow like 50 pounds of potatoes, you know, that is going to bring you it brings me joy to grow that. So this year, going after my garden, like last year I grew multiple different varieties of tomatoes. You know, this year I'm not doing that. You know, I'm trying to be really smart and hone in on what grows well where I'm at, because I have big dreams. You know, I say, you know, small farm, big dreamer, and that is, you know, really, I mean, I have lots of big dreams here, and I'm super grateful that to be able to take you all with me and to show you, like, right now this is the baby dreams. You know, this is homestead in a box in a baby version, and you know, the things I have planned, I'm just really excited for. But you have to start somewhere, you know. So, you know, this year my mentality for the garden is, you know, mainly just self-preservation, you know, growing the things that we are going to eat. You know, I am going to grow a couple things, just toss a couple extra things in, but mainly the things that I'm growing are things that we are going to eat, things that have a long shelf life that I can preserve, you know, things like that. Just a really smart garden. And so if you want to grow food, you know, and you just want to try it out, I encourage you to just find something, even if it's just a cucumber. Like, even if your family loves cucumbers, just grow one cucumber plant, you know, because cucumbers, you can can them and make pickles. You don't even have to have a canner. You can do just fermented pickles, you know. So just plant something that you're going to eat. You know, if you don't eat radishes, don't plant radish, you know. And that is something that I learned last year. You know, like, I have grown Swiss chard a couple times, and I just don't care for Swiss chard, you know. And so there is no sense in me continuing to grow Swiss chard. And so in place of Swiss chard, I'm really excited, because if you know me, you know I love growing lettuce. Lettuce is my jam. I love salads. And I usually grow cut and come back again lettuces. And these lettuce I started in the house a couple weeks ago, and I'm actually going to take them out individually, plant them in with my garlic here, and they're going to be head lettuce. This is red romaine head lettuce, and this is going to be Great Lakes. And I've never grown head lettuce. I always just cut my lettuce, because lettuce is super easy to grow. That's another super easy thing, like a cucumber, you know. Lettuce bolts, which means it kind of goes to seed. It has more of a bitter taste in the heat of summer, but you can buy varieties that do good in the heat. Simpson seed lettuce, that does good in the heat. It's pretty heat resistant, you know. But lettuce is a super easy, fast grow. Like, you could just grow it right here in these little containers and cut these off, make a salad, and they will grow back, okay? But I'm all about trying new things, and I want to grow head lettuce and see what these are about. A lot of things I've started making at home, and one of those things is Chinese food. And if you've ever been to P.F. Chang, they have amazing chicken wraps, and they use romaine lettuce as the wrap. So that is the main purpose behind growing these romaine lettuces. But I'm going to get these planted, and we're just going to talk about a few other things that you still have plenty of time to grow, okay? So I'm in zone 7B in Oklahoma, and here's some things that I still need to grow. I need to plant. I still need to plant my carrots. I need to plant my sweet peas, and those are the main two things. And I need to start some more spinach, and you can never have too much kale and lettuce, in my opinion, for me. So I do need to start those. Some things that you can still start and you have plenty of time to grow from seed is, again, you still have plenty of time to start potatoes, radish, carrots, kale, brassicas. Like, you can go right now to Atwood's, places like that, and get cabbages. Starting cabbage from seed right now might be a little iffy because Oklahoma gets too hot. And so if you've ever planted cabbage like in in, you know, May when they sell them, which I think is so silly to sell those in May. But if you've ever planted, you bought your cabbage and you planted it in May and it grew and it was really pretty, but you didn't get any cabbage, it's probably because it got too hot here in Oklahoma. It's in cabbage. Most brassicas are cooler weather crops, so you can plant broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, things like that. You just need to plant those right now from plant starts already, which you can buy at, you know, bigger box stores, Atwoods, Burpee. They pretty much buy into everywhere right now. I mean, there's plants everywhere. Your local co-ops, places like that. And you can still start your brassicas. Now, the main crop that everybody always wants to talk about is the summer garden. That's what I call the summer garden, and that is your tomatoes and your peppers, your cucumbers, your squash, zucchini, watermelons, cantaloupe, all of those things. You still can start those things from seed. You have plenty of time to still start some of those things from seed in your house, in a windowsill somewhere where you can get light, things like that. Or if you want to buy those plant starts from somebody, you need to, I mean, there's a lot of people, the weather's nice, it's great, you know, but personally for me, I wait until after our first estimated frost, which is April 12th, somewhere around in April. Now, last year in April, everybody kept saying, oh, don't plant, the blackberry frost is coming, the blackberry frost is coming, but I'm a weather watcher. When you are a gardener, you tend to be a weather watcher, and I knew the blackberry frost was not coming. We had already had all of the frost that we were going to have for the year, and so last year I did plant a little earlier than normal, but it was a-okay to do that. So anyway, I am just, as you can see over here, just putting these heads of lettuce in here. I plant everything pretty close together because I feed everything with that compost tea. That in order to have nutrients in your food, your soil has to have nutrients. And I hate to, you know, the most important thing when it comes to growing food is your soil health. And so you always want to be, you know, feeding your plants, okay? If you've had a garden previously, so some of you have already had a garden, okay? And you're like, oh, my tomatoes did great there the first year, but the second year they didn't do very good there. Well, that's because your tomatoes depleted the soil. They pulled all the nutrients from that soil. You have to feed back your soil, okay? And that is a whole long, huge, there really is a huge science behind gardening, you know, and that is what I'm working on right now here on our farm is, you know, whenever I first started this lifestyle, I was like, go big or go home, you know, and it doesn't have to be that way, you know. And so I'm going to use all of these little small beds that, you know, I have made here with rocks from our property, and I'm going to utilize these beds and get, you know, hopefully double the amount of harvest just by taking care of the soil, by feeding the soil. That's why, you know, if you've been following along here for a while, you know, like I'm huge into companion planting right now. You know, well, I'm growing flowers. I start more flowers later today to incorporate into my garden because those flowers and food, it feeds back your soil, you know, and some flowers and some vegetables, their roots put off food for other flowers and other vegetables, you know, and so I have spent the winter just kind of honing in on what I want here. How do I want here? That's why my onions are planted with my cabbage, you know, and I'll plant marigold in between there, you know, and in between those, you know, and I may have to cover my cabbage with some things to prevent it, you know, grasshoppers and things from eating it, but hopefully the onions help do that and I don't have to cover it with anything. So that is where I'm at right now. That is where I have been. I have been just honing in on here, you know. I've read a lot of books about gardening, a lot of things, you know, but the best way to learn how to garden is just by gardening. It's just by trying. You're not gonna know if you don't try, you know. Maynard? Okay, I see you. So you don't know if you don't try. So I have all of those red romaines planted. I'm going to plant about half of these Great Lakes, just one row of these Great Lakes in here, and then I will take the rest of the Great Lakes and stick them in one of my green stalks or something like that. I want to encourage you, if you don't, like I said earlier in this video, if you don't follow us on social media, to definitely go check us out there, because I'm all about saving money while growing food, you know. I bought these things from the Dollar Tree the other day that I'm going to be growing in, and mainly just as a project to show people that, you know, it doesn't take a lot of money to be able to grow, you know, really good food. I'm so pleased with these lettuce. I mean, I am just, the more mistakes you make in gardening, the more you learn, you know. Little baby lettuces, they're so good. So good. A little snack there. I had too many in one, so I had to eat some. Oh, I have something on my face. Dirt. Anyway, I say this in all my videos, and it's like a broken record. You don't know if you don't try. You are never going to know if you can grow food if you do not try. So if you have had it in your heart to want to grow food, I am encouraging you to grow some food, you know. Even if it's just one plant, one cucumber, one squash plant, one zucchini. Yes, you're gonna, I mean, a garden is work, okay? Sorry, I have lettuce everywhere. A garden is work, but the harvest from your hard work, it's worth it, you know. Sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it's like, you know, you have to have a real strong why you want to grow food, you know. Like, I want to grow food because I want to know where that food came from. You know, that's why we raise our animals here. That's why we grow food here. I know where it came from. I know what I feed this soil. I know how nutrient dense my food is. I know that my carrots taste better than any store-bought carrot I've ever had in my entire life. I know that my lettuce tastes like, I don't know, lettuce. It just doesn't taste like water. It has a taste to it, you know. I never knew lettuce had a taste to it until I grew my own lettuce, you know. And every year there's trial and error, okay? So like I said, there's always going to be trial and error, but you do not know if you don't try. If you have any questions about gardening or anything like that, please feel free to send me a message. I love talking about gardening, and I'm somewhat of an introvert, so I used to be an extrovert in this world, and I really don't know how I was such an extrovert, because now I'm a total introvert. I love being at home. I love reading. I love diving into a book and just being out here with my animals and in my garden, and you know, but I love talking to people through Messenger and things like that about gardening, about what they can plant and what they're looking forward to and things like that, you know. And I love watching other people grow as a gardener, you know. If you are planting food, you are a gardener. You know, it doesn't take a successful harvest to be a gardener. You know, it just takes the desire to want to garden. That's what makes you a gardener. So thank you all so much for coming and hanging out with me. Thank you to everyone that has stuck by me and has subscribed to this channel and has supported me along the way on YouTube here and over on all of our social medias. I am super grateful for each and every one of you. I am sending you good vibes as always. Send them to somebody that you all know, and I will see you all soon.